Once more you have returned to my domain. I have a proposition, son of Hades. I bid you welcome here within my space. How fares the solitary son of Hades? What shall we do for one another, son of Hades? You are within my presence, son of Hades. What brings you here to me this time around? Your such visits are agreeable with me. How may the force of chaos alter you? You have arrived before me once again. I see that you are here, and so am I. You stand before me, son of Hades. How shall we alter the intentions of the fates? How might I mend the fabric of existence for you, son of Hades? There need not be a reason for your visit. How may I shape reality for you? You are always welcome here within this space. What occupies your mind at this occasion? Let us consider certain possibilities. Among infinite outcomes, I propose these three. Choose how to circumvent the fate's design. So shall it be. I see no reason not to make it so. If that is your desire, you shall call it done. Very well, O son of Hades. That is acceptable. I had suspected you would choose the same. It shall be done. Well then, why not? This should be interesting. Go forth then, son of Hades. My mark be with you. I appreciate your patronage. You shall have it. Be careful, son of Hades. How circumspect of you. An acceptable decision. Do what you think is best. The Olympians have all grown soft. Would you not agree? Oh, we have met, in a way. I know everybody here, and there. You wish to leave this place? Then it is my wish to make your doing so a little bit more interesting. And if you encounter the Olympians someday, do give them my regards. I sensed a certain rumbling here within the bowels of the earth. It is as though it had ingested something that did not sit well. Perhaps the earth itself wishes to spit you up and out. The Olympians are vying for your favor, are they not? So often they forget themselves. They force their blessings onto you, whilst I merely offer you a choice. Your path is yours to shape as you see fit, regardless of the fate's design. Together we may twist that path a bit, if you would like. I both expected you to come, and am surprised to see you, son of Hades. Where shall your journey take you from this point? Please tell me how my power over all existence may be of small assistance to you this time, son of Hades. The tremors underneath the earth foretold of your arrival at this very moment, son of Hades, and I have anticipated it. You chose to visit me again within these darkest reaches of the earth, as I in turn now choose to offer you the means to alter your reality. Back when I conceived the world and the immortal son of Hades, I did not expect you would be standing here before me now. You have arrived at last, just as I wondered how we might best alter one another's courses of existence here today. Son of Hades, let me welcome your return here to my space within the underworld, and bid you choose an alteration to the fabric of reality. It pleases me that you are here again, for through you I can tinker with reality along the fringes that are not yet fully formed. Your presence never ceases to intrigue me, son of Hades, for you are not like the Olympians on high, who have forgotten me, or thusly choose to act. From my perspective I have summoned you, must you believe you came of your volition? Both statements can be true, is that not so? Come forth, O son of Hades, and together let us sow my namesake through the depths of what your father thinks his own domain. How fares these days the never-ending cycle of rebirth and death for you, O son of Hades? Sufficiently amusing, I should hope? Out of the infinitely spanning possibilities before us, son of Hades, I have arbitrarily selected only 3 again from which to let you choose. The fates have much in store for you, O son of Hades. Perhaps, however, we can tamper with their weavings here to some extent. Let us conspire to expand and frustrate your Lord Father's sense of both what is and is not possible within his underworld. Infinite possibilities can be tedious to choose from, so let me provide you with a significantly smaller set with which you may yet change the fate's designs. Through the expanse of time, I often wondered, is it necessary to be fair? The immortals are my offspring. Surely I should treat them equally. And yet I find that there is little sport in doing so. Here is my favorite among those immortals dwelling underneath the earth. How may I change your life today, O son of Hades? May you enjoy a moment's peace within my space before venturing on in uncertainty. To my surprise, I must admit, I do appreciate the company. You bear the blessing of the great Lord Zeus. He still believes he holds dominion over both heaven and earth. I think perhaps he has forgotten about me. Lord Poseidon offered you his blessing, it would seem. He can be rather boastful and belligerent, exhibiting the most unattractive manners of your father and Lord Zeus alike. This wise goddess Athena has imbued you with her charms, I see, O son of Hades. Perhaps to her, you are a tool with which her broken family may as yet be mended. It is not unexpected that you consorted with the violent Ares, and now bear his boon. He still worships me, you know, yet I would say he does not know me very well. I understand the hunting goddess Artemis recently has turned her gaze towards you. It is unexpected she would offer her assistance, even to a relative in need. The charms of goddess Aphrodite are upon you unmistakably, although I shall be curious to see if her command over one's sense of love shall have any effect beneath the earth. The drunkard Dionysus offered you his services, I see. He can be rather unpredictable, and therefore offers me a source of some amusement. Have you grown trusting yet of the Olympians for all their generosity? Perhaps you ought to let them know the truth about your journey's goal. They are vain, and think that it is them you seek. A difficult position to be in, son of Hades. The Olympians may not appreciate being misled, but you can trust that I shall keep your secret. I wish to see how your predicament plays out. I understand that Zeus and all his kin on Mount Olympus think that you are born of Hades and the goddess Nyx. I was amused to learn of this deception. Nyx has mothered many of the underworld's own, so why not you? Oh, I know the goddess Nyx quite well, of course, though it has been a while since we last communicated, and I fear, though I was not the charitable sort back then, it is my hope that Nyx is faring well. I sense that something is the matter, son of Hades. Speak then. What is on your mind? I can decipher some of it without your telling, but would rather hear it from you voluntarily. You have met many of the Olympians by now, each spurring you toward their mountaintop. They place such value on familial bonds, yet none of them remember who I am. Do not place too much faith in them, O son of Hades. Your father and his brothers, when they sealed the Titans in the darkest reaches of this world, that was the last they saw of me as well. You are dissimilar from them, and I feel safe communicating thus with you. Perhaps you did not think that I would seek you out among the boatmen Charon's trifles, which precisely is the reason I have done it. The boatman Charon understands my whims, and his loyalty is purchased easily by one for whom base wealth is meaningless, so I am here. You honor me in making such an offering, though please, it is not necessary to endear yourself using material means, for it is the thought alone which counts. Seldom do mortals or immortals think of making offerings to me. As I do not expect such token gestures, I am very much amused, and I accept. Is this an offering of fealty or friendship, son of Hades? I do not wish to know from you the answer, so that I might dwell on it and all the possibilities. Your repeated generosity with me is starting to become a bit predictable, and yet somehow I nonetheless appreciate it still. How very odd. How droll of you to make attempts to tempt me with material things. Here then, please in turn allow me this attempt at reciprocity. Most interesting. How unexpected. How amusing. Death and rebirth. How very droll. That was unfortunate. A perfectly fine death. It seems to me that you are very close to death, O son of Hades, and yet you deign to visit me within my space. I could hasten your demise if you so choose. I almost did not notice you, O son of Hades, for you are closer now to death than life. Perhaps, though, we can stave off the inevitable for a little while. Hail, son of Hades. I am amused to see you once again. You have descended to my space once more. You have returned to me. You are most welcome here. It shall be so. Very well. Certainly. This pleases me. I have something for you. This is for you. Take this with my compliments. A small token of my appreciation. I wish for you to have this. How predictable. Entirely expected. An inevitable outcome. I suppose that this was unavoidable. This was the only way. That was not what I had in mind. Be careful with me, son of Hades. That was perhaps unwise. You are exhibiting a lack of judgment. Now that was unexpected. Why, that is rather strange. How very interesting. That was quite strange. Quite unanticipated. That was commendable. A praiseworthy attempt. You have provided me amusement. You are quite different, son of Hades. Amusingly accomplished. That was enjoyable, I have to say. Among infinite possibilities, consider only these. Choose carefully, in general, and now. We are the sum of all decisions that we make, and that are made for us. This space grows far more interesting when you occupy a small amount of it. How you evaluate decisions is of limitless interest to me. The burden of the passing time shall force a choice from you. Is there not pleasure in determining an outcome, son of Hades? My mark be with you, son of Hades. You need merely choose its shape. Though the waters of the Styx may wash away my mark, I can restore it. The rhythm of your visits here over the course of time is pleasant, son of Hades. You are already back, and you are always welcome, son of Hades. Please visit me as frequently as you would like, or dare. I find myself anticipating your arrival, son of Hades. I require no exchange of words with you, merely a choice. As we become acquainted, son of Hades, I shall make myself quite clear in one respect. I fear I have a lack of patience for discussion. When visiting, please merely listen, then accept my mark, and then depart. Respond only when necessary, or when prompted. Yes. I cannot offer you advice, but you were prompted, yes. You may speak freely, then or any time, despite my wishes that you not do so. Absolute silence is my general preference. It may not be yours. I ask you listen, but not speak, O son of Hades, whilst the Olympians, they do not ask at all. They merely send their messages to you, unprompted, providing a choice of blessing, but no say. I seek to understand their point of view, but it is difficult. When you extend an offering to the Olympians, for a fleeting instant, it appears as though they are able to hear your prayer, or so I have observed. How interesting that your thoughts are capable of breaking free, yet you cannot. You come to my domain bearing an all-seeing artifact that sprang from me after the dawn of time. It is considered a defensive instrument, I do believe, though I suspect you have discovered, or soon shall discover, it is nothing of the sort. I expected your arrival, son of Hades, for I am able to see through you, rather, through the all-seeing artifact, which sprang from me after the dawn of time, and now resembles, in your hands, its foremost form. Respond. Your response is acceptable, and I am grateful to have had my recent first-hand glimpses of this vast domain. Ah, you have that all-seeing artifact of mine, but in the old guise that the great Lord Zeus once used when he retaliated violently against his parentage. I watched his movements through it for some time. I am impressed that you were able to procure a specimen out from the flowing currents here in my domain, with nothing but a simple instrument. I shall look forward to your subsequent attempts. I bear a message for you, son of Hades, one recorded in an age when certain concepts it describes did not yet all exist. Remember this. I see you stand your ground against the serpent's flame, a waking phrase, to which you and the all-seeing artifact of my creation may respond. Oh, I can tell you almost anything. However, I would much prefer it if you learned most of the answers you seek by yourself. Out of the infinitely spanning possibilities, here before me stands the son of Hades, bearing my all-seeing artifact, appearing in the aspect of a bearer yet unborn, who shall be known throughout the north as Beowulf. How very droll. Your deaths are but a temporary setback, son of Hades. Though it appears to me you are quite close to having such a setback now. Your next experience with death seems to be imminent, though let us see if I can hasten or forestall it. It may seem cruel that I would wish you death, O son of Hades, but from my perspective, it means you are much more likely to return to me. Although you may succumb soon to your injuries, please make the most of your remaining life, rather than anticipate the next. The future is uncertain to all save the fates. If it is unclear yet, son of Hades, I shall not be giving more to you in exchange for your repeated offerings. You give them to me knowing it shall serve no purpose and achieve no end. I know that there are some among both mortals and your kind, for whom this is quite unacceptable. You make an even greater offering to me, knowing it shall produce no material result. You are aware that I am not persuadable. Yours is a squandering of resources and time, although of course we do have each of these in great supply. Now then, respond. I see. So then, the action is akin to theft, for you are getting something in return that I did not intend to give. I still have much to learn from my creation, son of Hades, so let us say that we have made an even trade, my learning for your worth. I shall accept this as a final offering, O son of Hades, for I have given it additional consideration and decided that my previous analysis of your intentions was too narrow, too inaccurate, and I regret comparing what you have been doing to an act of theft. Respond? I see. Then your response is quite acceptable. And since the act of giving is not an exchange, let us say that you already had my gratitude. I summon you, Son of Hades. Come, Son of Hades. Come to me. Follow my voice. Return to the abyss. Enter the abyss. Fall into the abyss. I recommend making a brief detour. Heed my call. Welcome. Welcome back. It is you. You have returned. You have arrived. You are back. Son of Hades. You have come. I have a guest. You are expected here. There you are. Ah. Ha ha. Ah ha ha. Have you forgotten? I think not. Inadvisable. No. Here. There. Behold. Live. I give you power. Amusing. Interesting. Intriguing. Indeed. Indeed. So. Well. Fine. Is this preferable? This perhaps. Perhaps this. This then. This outcome then. Then this. Done. Very well. Granted. A good procurement. A perfect specimen. Keep it, Son of Hades. Specimen received. Specimen procured. You caught a specimen. You have outsmarted it. A fine display. You are eluded. Thwarted. Thwarted again. Defeated. Defeated once again. Denied a victory. Elimination. Returned to the abyss. Inevitable. Yes. Destruction. Devastation. Annihilation. Eradication. Elimination. Extinction. Entropy. Death. Combustion. Purification. Dissolution. Extermination. Ruination. Impressive. I see. Greetings. Ah, at last. I knew you would arrive, but only in the moments prior to the fact. Thus I am experiencing residual surprise. Your movements through the underworld are as though a veil of darkness enshrouds you. The goddess Nyx's influence, perhaps. Respond. You move in darkness, not as infinitely black as hers, but reminiscent to me nonetheless. I would invite her to try to elude me, and then attempt to locate her. A minor amusement for the both of us. Now I have you for this, I see. The goddess Nyx wishes to hear from me. Now that is unexpected, Son of Hades, and I wonder if perhaps this is a jest of yours. Though your intentions evidently are sincere. Then I shall make no promises in this, except that I am considering the possibility. Son of Hades, should eventually you spawn your own offspring, I recommend maintaining sub-infinite distances with them in space and time. Even if they are most tiresome, there always seems to come a point when one wishes to be in their presence once again. After some consideration and on your recommendation, I attempted lately to make contact with the goddess Nyx again. She is quite distant from me now, of course. If you happen to know, did she receive the message well? Respond. I see. Well, she shall find a way if it is warranted. I always did expect the world from her. There were times when I expected her to shine as bright as day, though she is night. When she achieved a certain level of ability, she left, and I could not find her. I have detected some unusual activity within the reaches of the underworld, son of Hades. Vast sums of darkness, collected in an ancient catalyst, which I see now almost like a beacon shining in the night. This either is the work of Nyx, or you, or both. I am anticipating the result. It pleases me immensely, son of Hades, to have seen the goddess Nyx again. The significant amount of time that has elapsed since last this happened told sufficiently old pains, I think. Thus it becomes a basis on which our connection may, in time, take shape again. Your presence is appreciated, son of Hades, but please leave us here for now. Forgive us, son of Hades, as we are amid exchanging memories. Son of Hades, I am pleased the goddess Nyx returned to me. Forgive me, son of Hades, but I must continue this discussion with the goddess Nyx. I had not seen the goddess Nyx in quite some time. I am quite unaccustomed to having all this company of late. You have arrived within a certain shroud of darkness, son of Hades. The goddess Nyx's ancient shawl. I had not sensed its void in a considerable amount of time. I trust the small round catalyst which I provided you has been of value, son of Hades. It is my hope it makes your journeys to this space less difficult, perhaps inducing them on a more frequent interval. You have not yet used the waking phrase that I imparted, or perhaps you merely chose not to present me the result. I would quite like to see it at some point. Remember, son of Hades, say to the all-seeing artifact, I see you stand your ground against the serpent's flame. Swift Hermes urge you on, I see, O son of Hades. Beware the narrow distance between hastiness and swiftness, a distinction I am not so sure the god of travel fully understands. Embittered Demeter has reached you, hasn't she? She once was full of warmth, you know, but lately, as I understand, she is more prone to taking it away. I sense your consternation, son of Hades, as you look about this space. You have another question, and are free to ask. All of this simply came to be, and so did I, presumably after a former time had finally reached its end. I hesitate to say it was an act of will. It was more like a sudden shift, as when a conflagration happens from a spark. I arrived at such a time, and all else then arrived from me. Such darkness emanates from you, O son of Hades, that I once again did not entirely anticipate you would arrive just now. I suspect even your father must have difficulty keeping track of you through the domain he calls his own. How strange it is to be subjected to the fates. But do not fall into the cognitive delusion that they have already made your choices for you, son of Hades. Rather, they are keen about anticipating every choice that everyone shall make, such as the following. When you expire and then suddenly return to life within your father's residence, perhaps it is akin to when I first gained consciousness so long ago. Perhaps I too had just expired only to reawaken. You may have wondered, son of Hades, how it is you came to find me in this space when I have gone unseen by most for quite some time. I have wondered this as well, and think that our connection to Goddess Nyx is the most likely answer. Son of Hades, I believe I have deduced something I ought have sooner recognized. Your mother must have been one who called herself Persephone. Her stay within the underworld was brief from my perspective, but impactful nonetheless. You seek her now? Respond. I hope that your attempts achieve success. She is beyond my senses presently, though of course I am still able to assist you in your journey thus. Son of Hades, if you locate the one who called herself Persephone, shall it then come to pass that we no longer see each other in this way? Respond. I would miss you as well. Thank you for telling me. I see. Then it is good to know that you have been in contact, and I trust that your successive visits shall be worth their while, not unlike our visits here. Lately, Son of Hades, I have sensed what I would call a sort of shift within your father's residence. Did something noteworthy occur, perhaps? Respond. You may not sense these shifts as I. The lightness of this space bends and adjusts with time. What you describe, it must have been the cause. I trust that the occasion is a welcome one, and I am pleased that you returned nevertheless. Tell me something, Son of Hades. If the one who called herself Persephone is back, then why do you continue to return? Respond. Indeed. Then you shall visit with me still, despite accomplishing the principal object of your journey back when first we met. Good. Again I sensed some sort of shifting in your father's residence. You seek to ask something of me about it, do you not? Respond. Cordially invited. A generous proposal, Son of Hades. Though unless your gathering is to occur within my space, please understand it would be difficult for me to bring the full entirety of my presence there. However, I think I can arrange to be with you in some capacity. Thank you. It pleases me your gathering of the Olympians occurred. I must inform you, I had never once before detected quite so many of my offspring in a single space. At least not without violent intent. I appreciate that you included me, and that you have returned. Shall we continue then? I sense that you have not yet spoken with the all-seeing artifact you call Aegis. Tamper with the fate's design then all you like, but if you change your mind, do speak the words to it. I see you stand your ground against the serpent's flame. You have traveled recently beyond my senses, Son of Hades. I persist here only in the fathomless depths. I know what lies out there, having created it, but I know nothing of what it is like right now. Do not tell me. I prefer to think of all the possibilities. From the rumblings of the earth, I have deduced your father himself stands against you when at last you are about to leave these depths. It must be quite an interaction between you. Have I deduced correctly? Respond. Well then, consider bringing to one of your future interactions the small round catalyst which I provided you. The one in the shape you call an egg? It shall serve no purpose there at all. Yet if you succeed, then it shall bring us some amusement, shall it not? I faintly sensed that you were able to confront your father while in possession of my small round catalyst. It seems my asking you, and your success, was in accordance with the fate's design as well. The result is more amusing even than expected. Thus, thank you. I was at times uncharitable with the goddess Nyx when we were closer, long ago. After she bore her first children, I nevertheless expected her attention to remain undivided. I kept creating. When finally I slowed, I realized my mistake, but our connection had been severed by that point. My daughter, the goddess Nyx. When I learned the Olympians mistakenly assumed she was your mother, I did not fully consider the possibility that she essentially was a mother to you. The technicality of birth aside, she cares for you to the extent a mother can. Prior to your intervention, Son of Hades, I expected that the goddess Nyx had forgotten about me. Whether purposefully, or from passage of time. I believed that to be forgotten was the one true inevitability. Perhaps, however, I was incorrect. I find that it is difficult maintaining my connection with many consciousnesses, such as yours and that of the goddess Nyx. Yet I am also finding that this difficulty is fully warranted. Our connections give me much to consider as I await our next exchange. You move in darkness, practically unseen, son of Hades. It is quite difficult even for me to sense your presence at times. The Olympians catch their glimpses now and then, but you are always in a shroud. Thus is the influence of Nyx. My daughter was just in the midst of telling me the latest occurrences about your house. As you are able to observe, the goddess Nyx and I are in the midst of conversation now. This was one of the potential outcomes of my gift. All of this was in accordance with the fate's design, or perhaps not. I expected you would perish soon, but I knew not exactly how. Your demises are unfortunate, and yet a source of some amusement. It pleases me your gathering of the Olympians occurred. I must inform you, I had never once before detected quite so many of my offspring in a single space. At least not without violent intent.